Critics say he spent six figures on travel that included limos and Las Vegas while his school district was in the red.
The superintendent of River Rouge Schools, now the finalist in the search for the next superintendent of Detroit Public Schools, says there's much more to this story, though. 7
Action News reporter Kim Russell joins us live with more on her exclusive interview from Detroit's West Side. Kim.
Stephen and Glenda, Derek Coleman right now is answering questions before the Detroit Community School District School Board, but he also was answering our questions. Now, he says he didn't ask to be a candidate for superintendent. A recruiter called, and answering that question has not only put him in under intense scrutiny, but it has made him realize he has a story to tell.
I felt like I'm the slumdog millionaire of education.
Derek Coleman, a Detroit Western High School graduate, says he grew up surrounded by poverty.
I can remember being at the bus stop as a kid and thinking that the schools knew the homes that we were coming from. And I just couldn't believe that they didn't care.
That perception sent some of his friends on tragic paths.
If money didn't matter, what work would be the most impactful? And I just decided that I'd become a teacher.
He became an English teacher, an assistant superintendent in Detroit Public Schools, and then took on being superintendent of River Rouge Schools.
It was without question going to close.
For the teachers, you know, like I say, he was a morale crusher.
The president of the teachers union at the time is sending out warning to Detroit teachers. He says in 2011, River Rouge teachers accepted a 15% salary cut to save the district. In 2012, Coleman became superintendent. In the 2013-2014 school year, he approved more than $100,000 in out-of-state travel. One example, $26,000 for a conference in Vegas.
We know what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas.
Right.
The union says administrators and teachers lived it up, traveling in limos.
The rate on the limousine was significantly cheaper because it allowed all of us to go at one time rather than paying for individual cabs.
It was just kind of a slap in the face.
When that six figures was spent on travel, you had more than $1 million in a deficit. Should it not have been spent somewhere else?
Those teachers who went to these workshops and gained valuable skills that they brought back to the classroom, it wasn't available to them in Michigan. That's why those conferences were chosen.
Then there is a receipt that is being sent to Detroit teachers right now by people who claim Coleman bought condoms and coconut tequila during that work trip.
They're not my purchases, and I can promise you that the district did not pay for this.
7 Action News did some digging and found out he is telling the truth. The receipt being sent around was turned in by someone else on the trip. Coleman says the focus should be on what he achieved, academic growth, schools families drive to from other districts, and a balanced budget. In River Rouge, even critics say he connects with kids.
I think a lot of the students, you know, I think they liked him.
If I come to Detroit, that those same things can happen there.
And so, public education.
At this moment, again, the Detroit Public Schools Community District School Board is interviewing Coleman, and we'll let you know how that goes ahead on 7 Action News at 11. Reporting live in Detroit, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
So, Kim, do most schools spend that much on out-of-state travel?
You know what, we looked at some random schools, and it is relatively a lot. For example, Bloomfield Hills spent $9,000, E-Course nothing, and Warren about $2,000 in the last year reported for out-of-state travel. So that is a significant amount. Back to you.
All right, Kim, thank you. Well, school kids in Michigan